Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you can hear me, y'all. How you doing this Friday? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Bolo V&R. We're on the 2.0 platform right now doing this reaction. Um, I want to say thank you for all the continued support of everybody. I really appreciate y'all. Shout out to all my moderators. Shout out to Hot Out the Press, Document TV, Mr. Wade Lonesome. Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to Sassy81 in the building. Shout out to Nora Harris. Shout out to everybody. I just want to talk to my fellow Jamaicans for a second before I get into this reaction right here. My people, we have to do better. What I mean by that is that we, in my opinion, is almost half the way responsible for the state of our country that we're in right now. I give the government most of the blame because they are the government and they have a higher responsibility, but we are not that far off in terms of blame in my opinion. It's not 50-50, but it's around 55 to 45 or 60 to 40. It's teetering between there and us, the Jamaican people. It doesn't matter where you are living as a Jamaican. If you are a Jamaican, you are, and especially if you were born here, you are part of that 45% to be blamed for the state of our country. And some people might say, "Nah, Bolo, what you talking about?" Nah, this is a time for accountability, and let me tell you why. You see the way how these politicians are treating us? I have to blame us for that reality. I gotta. If I don't, then I would be lying to y'all.
So
And
after
I'm not
five
here to
years,
lie to you guys. Alright? Not here to lie to you. I'm here to just tell you the blatant truth the way I see it. All right, and this is not just about what you're looking at on your screen right here, obviously. All right, this is a care package, ladies and gentlemen, from a minister of government to people in her constituency. I blame the people in the constituency for this. Some people might say, "Oh, but Boulder, you're blaming the abuse." No, no, you guys had to accept this at some point for them to think about even thinking that this would be something acceptable to do. Right? Again, you teach people how to treat you. If you meet a man and you meet a woman in your life, first impressions last. Alright? If you just don't hold back and just, you know what I'm saying, give up the goods, so to speak, what do you think is gonna happen? Hmm? What do you think is gonna happen? Let me tell you what's gonna happen. They are going to take advantage of you over and over and over again. So I was in a barber shop today, and me and an elder had a conversation, and he said to me that the system is designed to fail, and there's nothing we could do about it. I said, wait, hold up, elder. I said, nah, we can't do that. That is not true. That is not accurate. There's a lot of things that we can do. There's a lot of things that the government can do. Right? Both sides, not just the one that's in power right now. And I was a little bit frustrated because I realized that what I was a part of was a microcosm of the macrocosm, which is the larger picture. What I was a part of was a dialogue between two different age groups of people. One, um, and I can just imagine what my younger counterparts might, how they are viewing things. You know, people that are younger than me, because I'm not young. You know what I'm saying? I'm a good solid age, you know what I'm saying, between being a all out elder and a grown ass man type of age. You feel me? So I'm saying, how can't the elder that I'm speaking to see that, sir, this is not it. Like, there's a lot we could do. So I started to name out some things. And I said, guys, please remember to hit the like button. Just please remember to hit the like button. It is free. There's 25 of you watching. Please, on my screen, I'm seeing 25. I don't know how much more there actually is, if there's any, because a lot of weird stuff been going on. But anyway, please hit the like button. So I said to him, well, elder, we have agriculture. I said, Singapore is the size of St. Thomas. That is one parish in Jamaica. I said, Singapore is the largest exporter of organic food. Do you know how much money is into organic food? Let me Google something real quick. What is the... Hold on.
Here's the definition of the, denoting one or more people or things already mentioned or assumed to be common knowledge.
Stop it. Let me just write it out. What is the market value of the organic food industry? Let's see what kind of money it's pulling in. The market value, the global organic food market value is $177 billion in 2023. It is projected to grow to $529 billion by 2032. Guys, I never looked this up. This is all freestyle. I want to talk to my people. I want to talk to y'all. So, Singapore, Althea, how you doing? Singapore is one of the largest exporters of organic food in the world, at the size of St. Thomas, one parish in Jamaica. Now, if Singapore can be the largest exporter of organic food, why can't Jamaica be top 2 or even the first? With the size of the land that we have in Jamaica, why can't we, the government, focus on agriculture? What is stopping the Jamaican government from tapping into this value you're looking at on the screen, ladies and gentlemen? In 2023, it was $177 billion in market value globally, organic food products. And in 2032, it is going to grow 177 divided by 529, that's almost 300%. So in the next 7 years, ladies and gentlemen, this market the organic market, is going to grow by almost 300%. Call it 300%. It's literally 299%. It is literally 299% increase. It's 300%, guys. That's just the food, the organic food industry. So you telling me we can't tap into this as the Jamaican people? You telling me that we can't, I don't know, gain like, I don't know, 100 billion, $75 billion worth of organic food being exported, valued and exported out of Jamaica? That's what you're telling me? Let me look up what is the market value for medical marijuana. Medical marijuana. The global medical marijuana market was valued at $13.8 billion in 2022. It is expected to grow at 21.80% between 2023 and 2030. I ain't gonna lie. How you doing, Juliet? I'm not gonna lie. I thought that would be more. Alright. Forget medical marijuana. What is the market value for marijuana, period? Worldwide. 13.8 billion. I mean, shoot, we can still tap into that. Last some, how you doing? Now, those are two things I told the elder that we could do to actually help ourselves. What is the market value of the bottled water industry? Oh my God. Just as I thought. $326 billion globally. Bottled water is valued at $336 billion. And it is expected to grow, right? Like almost what, 60%, if not 60%. Moving forward, man, listen. $589.8 billion. So you telling me, my brothers and sisters out there, that this government cannot do anything to propel our nation forward and have us being productive? Listen, this is my idea. This is my thinking. Jamaica is a land of wood and water. Why don't we own our own brand of water? Somebody please explain that to me. So, bottled water, we should own our own bottled water. What is the value of coffee? What is the value of the coffee industry globally? $127 billion. With some sources projecting the market toward $200 billion. The coffee market is expected to grow in coming years and driven by increasing demand and consumption. Because people drink a lot of coffee, right? So Jamaica, why we're not pressing the government to invest in coffee? You're talking about Blue Mountain, you know, that environment, that precious environment for growing coffee. if we market our products correctly, proper marketing, this is where the professional comes in. We can get a higher value for our product overseas and on any overseas market, as a matter of fact. I want you guys to talk to me in the chat, you know. Talk to me, guys. So when the elder said to me that, there's nothing we can do, I go back to a statement that Marcus Garvey made that is etched in my mind forever. A man or a woman that is defeated mentally is twice defeated in the race of life. So what I've come to understand, ladies and gentlemen, is that we the people of Jamaica has accepted the mediocre type of what you would call governance that we are receiving from our government. And it's because of this is one of the major reasons why we are in a position that we're in. Not a favorable position. We have accepted too much foolishness. And this is why I give us 40 to 45% of the blame, ladies and gentlemen. It's our fault. We have them got away with it because of that. He's now thinking that, yeah, man, this is how it's always going to be, and there's nothing we can do about it. There's no changes we can make. All Bolo is doing is talking on this platform. His words won't reach anywhere. His words won't spark a change in some of the people. And again, I am only encouraging the Jamaican populace to hold the government accountable for your drugs that you intake in terms of medicine, proper medication. Hold the government accountable for everything. Our economy needs to go back on track. We need to understand those intricacies, right? So we need to understand those intricacies. I almost dropped my phone. Between coffee, water, and I haven't even talked about the music. I haven't even talked about entertainment. I haven't even talked about tourism. Tourism is the cash cow. There's only a simple fix in tourism, What the Jamaican government has to do is to defend its citizens' God-given right. Juliet said this is why we need the UIC, better Jamaica, better education, party enough. Jamaica, please, enough is enough, please. No, Juliet. Them are gonna say, them not ready, man. Much like how the IC wasn't ready, but the IC come shut them down. The IC stand up firm though. But them said the IC never ready. People, I am not telling you what to do. I'm also not telling you to harm the Prime Minister. I want us to be very, very clear on that. I'm not telling you to destroy Jamaica. I am saying to you, what are you going to do? Are you going to sit idle by and watch our country go down to the broad road of hell? Well, if the answer is no, I would encourage you to start researching what are the biggest problems in Jamaica, if any. And if you've come to understand what those problems are, I want to play something. Let me play something. Listen to this.
Your association and ever at 2015 Pro Box.
So everybody who follows politics in Jamaica and the Caribbean probably knows by now that 2025 is an election year in Jamaica. So we have on the one hand the Jamaica Labour Party led by Andrew Holness trying to win a third term in office, while political neophyte Mark Golding is going to be hoping he can lead his team to victory for the very first time. But I think both parties have problems they have to deal with as we head into a full-on election campaign. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Dion Jackson Miller. Stay tuned. All right. So let's start with my first point, which is roads. Now, roads are a big problem for the governing Jamaica Labour Party. Talk to anybody in Jamaica and people going to start to get into a conversation about how terrible the roads are. All of them, they're just bad. The main roads, the side roads, roads in communities, rural roads, them just terrible, honestly. And the Prime Minister has said, don't blame us. You're in government though. And you've been in government since 2016. So that's 8 years. And voters shouldn't hold you accountable for the bad road them we have to deal with. So this is what the Prime Minister said. He said the road conditions are not as a result of a neglectful government. For many years, you have elected governments that did not pay attention to fixing the economy to generate the revenues. And for many years, you've accepted promises from those governments. He said, I'm trying to change that. I've tried to explain to you the reality and not to sugarcoat it, but to tell you what really the situation is. Yeah, but part of being in charge, though, has to do with taking responsibility. Sure, the road problem goes back for longer than 8 years, way back. But whatever has happened in the past 8 years must be part of the problem. And yet government, so you kind of have to accept that. Anyway, as you probably know, the government has announced some really big road projects now. So there's a $3 billion program, the Reach Road Patching Program. That's now been increased to $5 billion. And then the big one now, that's a $45 billion Spark Road Rehabilitation Program. So billions to be spent on roads in the months leading up to an election due by September 2025. So will voters see this as an election ploy, or will they just be happy so the road them are fixed? So roadworks as well have been really disruptive, and unless that changes in a big way, we could be in for months of inconvenience. Now, after some very disruptive roadworks that took place in the corporate area a few years ago, a 2020 poll saw 53% of the people who were polled saying the months of disruption were worth the inconvenience. So will voters punish the government for the state that the roads are in now, or reward them for the billions that they're going to be spending on repairs in the months before an election? Guess we'll see. Point number 4. PNP has momentum. Yes, the opposition PNP has been showing steady improvement in the polls. Now look at where they're coming from. Now in August 2020, that's before the last election, the RGR Gleaner Don Anderson poll reported that 37% of respondents said they would vote JLP, 25% said they would vote PNP. So that was a 12-point lead for the JLP in a month before the election. And sure enough, in September 2020, the general election, the JLP blew the PNP out of the water. The PNP lost seats which they had regarded as safe seats, for instance Central Kingston, the whole of Westmoreland. Lisa Hanna in Southeast Centre nearly lost a safe seat as well. The PNP ended up with a paltry 14 MPs in Parliament, with the JLP winning a whopping 47 seats. That made for a very lopsided Parliament over the last 4 or so years. But the PNP has been gaining ground for more than a year now. In October 2024, 39.3% of people who were polled said they would be more inclined to vote PNP. 30.2% said they would likely vote for the JLP. That's about a 9-point lead. Then, of course, we had the local government elections, February 2024. Both the PNP and JLP claimed they won. To this day, people still stop me on the street and say, Dion, who won the election? And let's go, though, with the Electoral Commission. The Electoral Commission said the JLP won. They said with all the ballots counted, the result is that the JLP won the election for control of the local authorities with 7. The PNP won 6, inclusive of the Portmore municipality. Having said that, though, it must be of concern to a party in power. Say you just barely managed to win an election with all the resources of the state that are at your disposal. And yeah, a general election is coming, so the JLP must be worried about that. So yes, the opposition PNP has been showing momentum. The question is going to be whether that momentum will be maintained and whether it can carry them over the finish line so them can actually win a general election, especially since in the months leading up to the election, we can expect to see the government going all out and announcing projects right, left and center, and we've already seen that start. Make we see. All right, point number 3 for me is crime. Now, the preliminary stats coming from the police for 2024 showed Jamaica with an 18.9%, call it 19% reduction in murder. Now look, any news of reduction in murder is a big deal. We'll take it, we'll welcome that. But really and truly, the underlying question still has to be, do people feel safe? Do Jamaicans feel safe? And I'm going to say no. Jamaica doesn't feel like a safe country. People don't feel safe. And while we're glad to hear the stats and hear that murders are down, that isn't going to make people feel safe. And a long ago comment from Prime Minister Holness that Jamaicans would be able to sleep with their doors and windows open has come back to haunt him many times over. The crime continues to be a problem. Point number 2 from me now. Now, one of the JLP's best assets was former Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark. He's somebody people had a whole heap of faith in, right? He was a technocrat, he had the knowledge, and he emphasized reform. You know, he spoke a lot about change, wanting things to be better. And also what you heard from him a lot was, again, that determination that government shouldn't spend what it couldn't afford to spend. Now, he's left, he's gone after the IMF, and Favour Williams is the new finance minister, the first woman to hold that position. Too early to judge her, way too early. We'll see what happens there. The thing is, the government has made some really impressive gains when you look at the numbers. Number of them look good, not lie, right? So for example, in the first quarter of 2024, Jamaica's unemployment rate fell to a historic low, right? Has never been this low, 4.2%. And also Jamaica's debt to GDP ratio is lower than it's been for years. The debt has been falling. The truth is though, that although those numbers look good, we still have the same ongoing problem in Jamaica of low growth and low paying jobs, right? Young people still complain about the jobs they can get. They complain about whether they'll ever be able to afford a house. And a lot of young people just don't see a viable future for themselves in Jamaica. Now, the government knows this is a problem, and this is why the Prime Minister recently announced what he called a new program, the Aspire program, for what he called inclusive growth. But really and truly, there wasn't much that was new in the program, and it's not clear what the path to actual significant growth is going to be that will make ordinary Jamaicans much better off. So the government already failed with growth, you know. Remember Michael Lee Chin leading the Economic Growth Council that had set the so-called 5 in 4 target. They had said they wanted to get to 5% growth in 4 years. Well, that never happened, and we're still on the low growth train. Hence a lot of the difficulties that people are having. A lot of what drives voters, are just bread and butter issues. How much money may I make? How, what may I have to spend when I go supermarket? How well off are we? And the gains in the economy, those nice looking numbers, will have to create meaningful change in people's lives for them to feel these economic improvements that we keep hearing about. Nobody's doubting that the economic situation overall is improving. The issue is how are people being affected at base level, at supermarket level, at household level. That is the issue. Now, put that together with the facts that people still vex bad about the big increases that parliamentarians gave themselves as part of the public sector compensation review, and there could be issues there for the JLP. And the final point I'd make is the Integrity Commission and the Integrity Commission reports. You can kiss your teeth all you want. Those of you who think this is not an issue, it is a problem for the JLP, partly because it's a story with so many layers to it, and it's a story that's still developing. So first we had the former Speaker of the House and the current Speaker, who is the Prime Minister's wife, trying to change the way in which the House of Representatives dealt with reports that came from the Integrity Commission and the Auditor General. And the way in which they were trying to do that raised questions of transparency. The questions were being asked, hold on, are they trying to hide these reports from us? Are they trying to hold on to these reports instead of having them released immediately to the public? Okay, so we got past that, and we're still in the same situation in terms of how reports are released, so nothing changed there. But that went on for months, right? Then we had how the Speaker, Juliet Holness, treated the clerk to the Houses of Parliament, Valerie Curtis. This is an, older public servant, literally a week or two away from retirement, suddenly caught up in this big controversy with the Speaker accusing her of gross dereliction of duty and of bringing Parliament into disrepute in relation to the handling of reports that were coming from the Auditor General, and that whole situation never went down well with people at all. Then, of course, we had the situation with the delay in certifying the Prime Minister's statutory declarations. When the Integrity Commission finally published a report, a very controversial report, still refusing to certify Dr. Holness's declarations, the Prime Minister took them to court. Now, I should say a lot of people disagreed with the way in which the Integrity Commission had handled this issue, and especially publishing an inconclusive report that essentially left the Prime Minister in Never Never Land. It certainly wasn't ideal, but as part of that case, the Prime Minister is asking the court to strike down the Integrity Commission Act. Now look, this is just not a good look. I am not commenting on the legal merits of the case, of this or anything else the Prime Minister is asking for. I'm not commenting on that at this point. I am saying categorically, though, there is no way it looks good for the head of government, the Prime Minister, to be asking the court to strike down an act that was passed by his administration after the body that was set up under that law started looking into his affairs. It just not look good, just not look good. Some things not look good, that not look good. And this war that some members of the administration have decided to start with the Integrity Commission doesn't help. So let's see how the JLP handles these, as well as some of the other issues it's going to have to deal with in the months leading up to the election, and we'll see how the voters respond. All right, thank you so much for watching.
That was Deion Jackson, man. Sorry, guys. I wasn't sharing my screen. I thought I was sharing my screen. This is what I'm talking about us really understanding what is actually going on in our country, and stop playing down the fact that the Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, is under investigation for illicit enrichment. And the fact that based off investigative minds like Andy Marshall, Will Rattigan, Mystic Sensation, Mr. Byron, and others that look at this Integrity Commission report, ladies and gentlemen, there is potential for possible money laundering. The man called Andy Marshall called Andrew Holness government. He called out that they are involved in transnational organized crime after hearing the Integrity Commission report. Not my word. He did not mix his word. He said he said this is transnational organized crime. That's what he said. So if you guys don't know what transnational organized crime is, well, here it is. Those are the three. See, armed trafficking, smuggling, money laundering, human trafficking, drug trafficking. A professional in the field of dealing with international crime, Mr. Andy Marshall, is of the opinion that Andrew Holness government is involved in these things after looking at the Integrity Commission report. Ladies and gentlemen, you know why Singapore is doing, and I'm mentioning Singapore again. You know why Singapore is doing well? You know why Singapore is doing well? They don't play about corruption. You see, their crime rate is very low. Let's look at their corruption punishment. It says in Singapore, the punishment for corruption can include a fine, imprisonment, or both. The severity of the punishment depends on the type of offense and whether it involves a public official. Wanna hear that? The severity of it depends on the involvement of a public official. Penalties: $100,000. Imprisonment can be 5 years for private sector offenses, up to 7 years for public sector. Penalties for receiving a bribe: the penalty can be equal to the amount of money of the bribe. Factors that affect punishment are aggravating factors. These include lack of remorse, relevant antecedents. What is antecedents? And other offenses. Mitigating factors: these include a guilty plea, cooperation with the authorities, a voluntary restitution. Totality principle: this principle ensures that the sentence is proportionate to the offender's overall criminality. So it depends on the weight of the crime, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if Jamaica was to adopt this prevention of corruption at the PSA in Singapore, Andrew Holness could not be the Prime Minister of Jamaica right now, based off the Integrity Commission report alone. He would have to be removed for the investigation to go. You couldn't have the Prime Minister, ladies and gentlemen, running the office of the Prime Minister, having the JCF in there, Mocha. You couldn't have NEPA doing a secret deal. A secret deal with a company that allegedly violated the environment. So when I say, ladies and gentlemen, that we the people of Jamaica are the ones that have to be held responsible for a large portion of the present state of Jamaica. This is what I mean. We have allowed the government to operate with some level of impunity. You have people that say, load the man. The PMP then thief to low him. Load the man. And I'm like, what do you mean load the man? What do you mean by that? Leave him to do whatever he wants with this country. And then what does that mean for the future of our children that is coming after us? What will we say to them? Yeah, you know, that's just how it goes, We couldn't do anything, we just have to.
And destroyed the people of Startup.
We couldn't do anything, we just have to leave the Prime Minister alone, we never fought, we never did anything. What are we going to tell our children? What are we going to tell our children? So, Jamaica, you have a decision to make. We're at, and this crossroads require, in my opinion, for you to take it to the Lord in prayer. That's the crossroads that we're at right now. Alright? The only guide is the Most High. That's the only guide right now. Now, what I'm seeing happening right now on my screen is that you guys probably are not hearing me. And if you're not hearing me clearly and it's choppy, please let me know in the comment. And I should have known that something was wrong, because the comment section froze. Nobody was talking. Last thing anybody said was last sum. So the amount of money goes through the hands could fix all the roads. That's the last comment I saw. And with what I've been saying, it's strange that the chat is very quiet. So I'm gonna leave that to you guys to ponder. The other part of this live stream, I'll just do it in the morning early when I come from off the road. Yeah, I'll just do it when I come from off the road. You guys let me know, what are your thoughts about some of the things that I proposed? Some of the things that I spoke about. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I want to see an engaged comment section where we can exchange ideas. Like, what do you want, Jamaica? That's the question. What do you want? The Bible says a man without vision will perish. If you don't know what type of Jamaica you want, well, let it be God's will, because God knows what is best for us, right? Let us pray that the will of what is best for Jamaica, the will of the Lord be done, because that is what is best for Jamaica. Let us pray for that. And I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave it. Let us go to the Lord in prayer. All right. Let us go to the Lord in prayer. I'm really, 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 really tired. I'm really tired of this. We got to do better. That's my time, man. That's my time. I'll try. See if this thing I got through. Let me just try.
Kasongo ye Mombali nanga Kasongo mbona wewe Songa libala Oh ye Kasongo mbona wewe
Yo, let me call her some. Let me last some. Yeah, them mama. Come on a little bit. Oh my God. Awesome.
Hello?
What go on, mama?
Well, me there, you know. Me there listen you, but my son called me and distract me from the program.
Oh, you never did have no bad experience, like you didn't hear nothing.
No, me did I hear you. I was hearing you.
Okay. I just wanted to know because me see some funny things happen on my computer with the OBS. So I that me the call
Me
for
did I
find
hear you,
out.
man, because when me get the call when Dian play the song with Dian Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
And then he called me and talked to me and then he talked to his daughter. So she
Mm-hmm.
just put on the phone a while ago.
Yeah. All right. Blessings, yeah?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Cool.
Mm-hmm. Let me see what this I do. So I'm not hear it. Oh, don't tell me. Oh yeah, I forgot. They started this program late. What's up? Where you say what? I'm a what? What Jenny say? My OBS is going crazy. I'm a bad on myself. And I get to myself.
Here and the
The internet is going.
A corrupt government cannot liberate the people. If the head of the stream is corrupt, the entire river will be also. May God bless the great institutions of the country that keep the society together.
Various apps and
may God bless the Integrity Commission that leads the fight against corruption in the land. Because corruption is a scourge against the will of God. And the institutions on earth that fight against corruption deserve our full support.
emotional damage.
Belongs to Jesus. Good morning, Jamaica. Good morning, world. Good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it is.